The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. I represent Bahamian people. I from Nassau, Bahamas, big up Dayton, bro. Boy, I from Dayton, bro. Right between West and Augusta, where them two roads meet, they call it Wilkinson Street. Manners and respect was like, it seems the ones that coming after quick to disrespect. You see, this life in the ghetto never easy. So many hungry days break till it grieve me. Way I doing the best I can, trying to turn my dollar to 100 grand. I represent the ghetto people.
Good night, Bahamas, and welcome to another edition of Inside the Inner City that premieres every Friday at 6:30 to 8 p.m. on Guardian Radio 96.9, except holidays. I'm your host, Valentino, a.k.a. Scrooge, host of the talk show Inside the Inner City. Telephone numbers tonight are 323-6232, 325-4316, and 325-4259. And you can text us, powered by BTC, at 422-GR96. And again, it's just a pleasure to be your host on this wonderful Friday. There's so much to talk about going on in the country. I don't know where to start, so I just try to have a little mix-up solid show based on all of the topics that have been discussed on the airwaves, Guardian Radio, Tribune, and the Guardian newspaper, and see how we can have a wonderful conversation. But there's much to talk about, so I'm going to try my best to see how I can get the audience involved, because you guys do a wonderful job. Just like for the callers to please, when you call in, don't talk to me about, I don't hear nothing but Dwight Scruggs, I don't hear nothing about Steve McKinney, I don't want to hear nothing about no other talk show host on my show, because I represent me. I only can speak for me. They are my colleagues. They have their own personality. So please don't try to get me involved to go against the people I know. Okay? So don't try to show and then you're all out and trying to get me to agree with you when, like I say, it's an open show. You have your own opinion. So do not try to drag me along with you in your conversation. You have your opinion. I have my opinion. But one thing with me, I am civilized. I know how to get along with anybody. Whether I like you or I don't like you, I know how to get along with people. So when you call in, please do not try to get me to conflict with the rest of talk shows on Guardian Radio, okay? Because it isn't right. You're putting me in a position where I don't need to be. You know, I know where I need to be. What I need to be is talking about the programs and solution that is going to benefit the Bahamian people that Guardian Radio gave me an opportunity to do. And that's what I do, and I've been doing. And if you listen to the discussion that we've been having over the last 10 years, basically everything we talked about and how we're going to rescue the Bahamas, what we say on the show, Monday, Tuesday, we see it happening in the newspaper or around the country. So many people say, you know, you have to get in politics to make change. But what if your influence range far greater than politics? Probably the airwaves can be inspiration. Probably the leaders who are out there listening, you know, say, wow, this young man has some great ideas. Let me put this down in the book. And that's exactly what has been happening since I've been, okay? And I'm going to show you one or two things that we talked about that is going to be very beneficial to the country, you know? You could also lead by example. I think that being a talk show host comes with great responsibility. And you have to take advantage of the opportunity, and I'm using it as to say, you know, help direct the country in the right direction for things that they don't see that needs to be implemented in the country to carry the country forward. On today's show, we're going to talk about the programs that the government are doing are beneficial. Okay, the government is doing a great job financially, you know, with a lot of investment like in Zoma, Freeport, Grand Bahama, etc. And we, as a nation, lack certain facilities in our country. When I say facilities, if you look across the Bahama Islands, we don't have ambulance. You understand? To take residents who are in emergencies. We don't have public hospitals on certain islands that has a great population, okay? Some family islands are struggling with getting fresh water and etc. So we use the show to let the government of the Bahamas know that we need these family islands and the inner city community to be self-efficient with the proper equipment. Okay, so today we're going to talk about a little bit about Mr. Keith Bell. I'm highly appreciative of Mr. Keith Bell. You know, I'm not pulling for the government. I'm not about that. But if there's a government official or there's a government program, whether it's the Coalition of Independence, which they have a great solution to the immigration policy, or a solution for crime, or they have a solution for the healthcare crisis in the country, and they make a good argument for it, I would support that particular organization or group. The reason why, in all of us, there are solutions. And I don't look at government as to say, I looking up to them. I do, but to the extent where they move too slow. So I like for community-minded persons in the country who have great initiatives for them to come forward and take these programs to the next level. So like I said, I don't pull for no particular political party because at the end of the day, it's just government. We as a Bahamian society has created the PLP and FNM, and whether which government comes in or goes out, we have to be able to have a continuous program that is going to benefit the Bahamian people in the next 25 years and to change the directory of the current state of the country when it comes to our youth, when it comes to our elderly, and when it comes to our teenagers in the country, because we had one out of seven things about committing suicide. A survey done, I think, by 19 or 20 schools. The age bracket from 13 to 17. So we have serious problems in the country. So again, I want to give a shout out to he wanted to talk about is what he heard the Minister of Housing, Keith Bell, has taken up. And we mentioned this numerous times inside the inner city. We talked about houses in the inner city community. There are thousands of houses in the inner city community that are run down, in other words, abandoned. If there was a survey and you had the resources to go and count all the houses, road area, the Bay and Grandstand area, and Angliston, and many other areas that are in the city, Montel Heights and etc., you'd see that's a substantial amount of properties around National Providence that are run down. And they are not in usage. They are used for residents of the community. They take their trash out their yard, and they go and they clean up their yard. They look at the abandoned yard that has been stagnated for so long, 20, 30 years, and they use that as a dumping ground. And they hire guys who are on drugs in the community to remove the garbage out their yard, and they deposit the garbage into that abandoned yard. And there are houses there that can be useful. And it's a sore eye to the community. Not only does it harbor insect, rodents, and causes disease, it's a sore eye for the community. Those houses and property can be used for the benefit of the next generation of Bahamians. They can be turned into low-cost homes. They can be turned into small businesses, and I think that's one of the first steps. As a government, you have to realize that there are a lot of property in the country that can be turned into something useful for the Bahamian people. We're talking low-cost homes. Like I said, you could be apartment buildings that can be rent-owned, etc. You could set up small shops in certain areas for people who want to start their small businesses. There are a lot of two-story buildings that can be transformed into a lot of small businesses for that particular community. So you got to be creative. So I don't know how far our government's going to go, but I also want the community residents to look at some of the properties in the area, since the government said they would like to purchase it. And listen to the Keith Bell, Minister of Housing. Like I said, I'm not with government, but any program that they have that is going to benefit the Bahamian people, I'm all for it. Once it's going to benefit directly to the Bahamian people, I'm all for it. And we mentioned this numerous times on Side NCD. On this show, we always talk about what government needs to do. Go in these communities, look at these abandoned houses, okay? Find out who the owners are, if the family members have died, or if the family members can't come to agreement on the house or on the property, and they are not doing nothing with the property, and the property itself is causing damage to the community. It's dilapidated, cars, garbage, and you're seeing like 10, 20 of these homes in one particular stretch of corners, like 1, 2, 3 corners. You have like 20, 30 homes that, just run down and are doing nothing. So if we could do a survey and purchase these homes, you can imagine how our community would look. Well, anyway, Keith Bell, I think he's serving us, second or third term, again, remember. At first, he was an arrogant MP, he was outspoken. But then, he seems to have learned from his mistakes. Now he has become a more concerned politician on what he says out of his mouth. And he's in charge of the Ministry of Housing. And he is stating that the government now is going around in inner city communities around the country and is looking to purchase homes in the inner city community and turning it into low-cost homes and anything that can really be beneficial to the community. But he spoke about the low-cost homes. And like I said, there are thousands of homes in the country that can be refurnished or pushed down, can build 2, 3-bedroom homes in the country. And Mr. Bell, he stated that this is an ongoing program, and this would be mentioned on Inside the Inner City. When I was given this opportunity to come on Guardian Radio, I was given this opportunity to find solutions. And I'm not a member of parliament, I'm not a pastor, okay? I'm a community advocate, but I'm also a community developer, and I know what the community needs, and I see the resources the community has, and if we tap into the resources, we can turn these inner city communities into one of the most beautiful places in the world, where we can walk, smell the fresh air, we can eradicate garbage, we can eradicate the rat problem that we're facing in the country, and this also can change our health crisis in the country. So this is a big step in the right direction. My friend Elroy Bryce, he was a little concerned about it. He talked about Keith Bell mentioning the property in the Baintown area that he would like to purchase. Okay, not take. And again, the government is not going to take your property, okay? They're going to reimburse you. They're not going to take your property because it's not the right thing to do. But if the property is stagnated in the community for 30, 40 years and no one is doing nothing with it, and the family is not doing nothing with it, either they could go to the government, ask for assistance on helping them build law. If they decide to, they could say, you know what, we're not doing nothing with it, we have a problem with one another, we'd like to sell it. So the government is looking to purchase a lot of these properties in the inner city community and turn them into low-cost homes to benefit the Bahamian people in the country, because there's so many people, looking for housing, looking for apartments. And we have enough in the country, but they are run down. So this is the next step to reface the community. Every empty lot in the inner city community should be looked at, examined, and make sure it's maintained. Because we don't want our community to be run down. Look at our communities that are completely run down. So many houses owned by family who can't get along with one another. And since they can't get along with one another, they leave the property right there. And it becomes a problem for the whole entire community. People sell drugs there. People put their guns there. People throw their trash there. All kinds of diseases established in these communities. And not only that, the rat runs from one dirty property to the next one. And that's the reason why we can't get the population of rats under control in the country, because of all of these dialect houses and dialect cars that we have in the city community. And we have to take the first step of cleaning up our community. We talk about the Asian nationals, and many people are saying, wow, they leave a lot of trash and etc. But there's also BMs as well. But we need to come up with a strategy to stop this, to let you know that this is the Bahamas and that putting cars on the side of the road is a no-no. Now, if your car is working and it breaks down and you're going to repair it in a timely fashion, the car can't be sitting on there a whole year on the side of the road. That is a no-no. If your car breaks down on the side of the road, like how we live in the inner city community. We live like facing the road, and some of us park across the road. You understand? And many people are afraid of that also because they say, the government's going to start removing all the cars on the side of the road. And where they're going to park, this was one of the discussions my cousin Dexter had. And I'm hoping that, as long as you can fix your car in a timely fashion, it only could be one car. Okay, because this is the Bahamas. We have to look over the Bahamas, and we know that the Bahamas has too many cars on the side of the road in yards. We have to do something to clean up the Bahamas. This is the first step. And there's no if and no buts. We need to do it. We need to clean Mother Bahamas. We call it, I'm going to say Mother Earth, but we're going to say Mother Bahamas. It's too much filth. The Earl Green and the Searle. Okay, the trash is building up, damaging the air quality. Mosquitoes are hiding inside of the cesspits that are dug, but over the years, with the property not in use, turns into a mosquito hive or a roach hive or a centipede hive. Now, you living in the community might not know where all of these insects are coming from, but this one cesspit that's 4 or 5 houses down the road, that one cesspit right there is supplying the whole area with rats, centipede, and mosquitoes and much more. Trust me. I'm still cleaning up my community, and I learned these things. When we clean up down here, I found a cesspit on Hay Street, and at night, man, it was about 1 million mosquitoes coming out. There was one cesspit. At night, you could just see them coming out, But this is just one cesspit. So that's affecting the whole community. You understand? I cleaned up this yard, Raleigh, on Lewis Street. That's the most centipede I ever saw. I say, every time we rake Raleigh, we's cleaning up. And every time we rake, these centipedes was like this long. And they was like white. So you know what that means? They was not seeing daylight. But there was in such abundance. This one yard must have had about 1 million, I swear, on Lewis Street. I couldn't believe it. Man, Raleigh, I was cleaning up. I had must have about 50 and 20 kids cleaning up with me. With 3 of the guys who I paid to help me clean up freely for my community. And man, we were cleaning up this yard. And I couldn't believe it. We moved the trash. And man, look at this, look like this is centipede heaven. Across the road where the centipede is crossed, it was like roadkill. You could see the volume of centipedes getting killed by the car. Right? And they were going across the road, and you could see where they were harboring and where they were living because you could see them dead inside the road. So, it's cleaning up. But most kill themselves laughing. So, I trying to play little brave because, you can't be the boss and you ain't working, so you got to get dirty too. So, I tie my pants leg because they see all these other people, boy. So now I'll be in the bar cleaning up. Man, I see this little boy say, Scrooge, look on your pants. Man, Rolly, look here. I had the Michael Jackson. Boy, them little children kill themselves laughing. Man, when I look down on my pants, I see one centipede was like this crawling up on my pants. So you know how you could do the dance. Man, look at them little children. They kill themselves laughing, man, And that's our problem in our country, man, So these are most by the Minister of Housing, Keith Bell, is a step in the right direction, but we also like to let the people know that is something that we were saying right here on the show for many years that needs to happen, that the government of the country needs to go in the inner city community, purchase these houses, purchase them from the owners who has nothing to do with the property, or if they have a family problem within the family, and it's a family, what you call it? Family property. And sometimes you can't settle them, right? And that's a problem, right? So it stays there stagnated. And again, like I said, the government could step in and turn it into a low-cost home. I hope the homes that they're going to create are anywhere from $30,000. If it's possible for a resident or a single parent mom or single parent father or family at whole that doesn't have a home can actually rent or own one of those homes. And that'd be a big relief for many residents in the country. And it changes the SOI of the community, but also it brings up the quality of life in the community because it takes away the rot, it takes away the bad air, it brings back the beauty, it brings back community aspects. So to the Minister of Housing, I think this is a step. Reiterate, again, you don't have to be a politician to make changes. I use the station and the show and come up with creative solutions and ideas, and I come on the show and I talk about it, and it reaches the ears of the powers to be. You don't have to take. You don't need to have to take credit for something that you're doing generally from your heart that is going to benefit the country. And that's what I do on the show. And I see my way, and I'm only talking about it now because I see my work. So you can't say you can't make change and saying that you need to come and write legislation. You can use your influence, okay? And again, they're going around and they're going to purchase these properties and turn them into low-cost homes. They're not going to take no one's property. I listened to the Minister of Housing, and he said that they would make a proposal to the family who owns the property or the one who owns the property. And if they agree upon it, then it's a go to help develop the community. So thumbs up to Mr. Keith Bell. He is turning a very good minister. And this is a good step in the right direction. It can change the lives of many people in the country, but also it could change the directory and how our community performs, how our community is being uplifted. Because right now, we have to uplift the inner city community and turn this once beautiful island of the Bahamas again into a clean and beautiful country once again. My producer said we're going to take a break on Guardian Radio.
I represent Bahamian people. I from Nassau, Bahamas, big up Baytown, bro. Boy, I from Baytown, bro. Right between the rest,
roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there we are no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in Nassau Guardian Bill, telephone 302-2361.
Always on the go? Missed a show? You can now listen to Guardian Radio talk shows anytime, anywhere on Spotify and YouTube by searching Guardian Radio 96.9 FM or by entering the name of your favorite show. You can also listen by logging on to GuardianTalkRadio.com and clicking on the podcast tab. Guardian Radio, continuing to provide you with fresh news and smart talk anywhere, anytime, all day.
Boy, you know what going down tomorrow?
Nobody, what happening?
Joe bringing these knives to school. He could do Junior in.
For what?
Boy, he fooled with Joe girl.
Mother sick. And Junior don't back down for nothing. So that means you got a big fight tomorrow.
So whose side you on?
Side? I trying to stay in school, not Simpson Pen. We gotta tell somebody about this fight.
Tell somebody. I ain't no snitch. I ain't cool, you know.
Boy, if you so cool, then you need to stay in school and stay out of the fight.
Yeah, but if I don't hang on Joe's side, how many boys coming for me next?
Alright, so we definitely gotta tell somebody. We gotta prevent the fight.
What I say, I don't want nobody call me.
And nobody gotta know it's you.
So what are the boy?
All you gotta do is call them or you text them through the Crack Crime Bahamas app and nobody can know it's you.
Then the police come looking for me for more info? And when they finish with them, Joe them coming looking for me?
When you call Crime Stoppers, the calls go directly to Miami and they don't ask nothing about you. Then you can get the pen from them and they can claim a reward later using that same pen.
Plus, everything's scrambled so nobody can read what you're saying.
Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Print Masters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. I represent Bahamian people. I from Nassau, Bahamas, big up in bro.
Good night. We're back on Garden Radio 96.9 FM. I'm your host, Valentino Scrooge, and we're talking about progress. And this is what I love to do. Okay, we're talking about programs that are going to be very beneficial to the Bahamian people. So for all the homeowners and property owners in the country, you're hearing that the government is taking action towards dialect properties in the country. Dialect property means abandoned houses, just like dialect vehicles, and the government is taking a serious stance on it now to help repair them, to turn into low-cost homes for Bahamians who are looking for homes. And I think this is a great gesture. And like I said, we have been mentioning this on the show from the very inception, some of the problems we face, and we also talk about the solution. And we've been talking about a solution like this for a long time. So I'm glad it reached the ears of government, okay? Because this is the first step. And I sat on the board when this initiative was brought forward. This wasn't brought forward in this particular administration. It was brought forward, previous PLP administration when I was working along. Dwight Scrawn was there as well, helping with local government. And we had a lot of other engagements with a lot of government departments that I sat to personally talking about what is needed. And we talked precisely about the abandoned houses. I also like to give credit again to the government again for taking initiative. One of my main initiatives is the cleanliness of the community. They also are enforcing the environmental law where they have a lot of abandoned cars in the city. And we have makeshift mechanic shops. Again, I have friends who have mechanic shops, Lewis Street, Hay Street, and certain other particular areas in Nassau and Providence. I'm not against these guys. No problem with that. But again, it's too consuming for the community because we're having like 50, 100 cars in one spot. That is not right. I think that someone who is in the mechanic business or has a garage in the inner city community and treat it like a garage. You're fixing cars. Cars should not be there longer than 2 months. If you scrap a car in the community, you're taking parts off it, you should be able to have a record to take that away immediately. You just can't scrap the car. That's what happens. This is what normally happens in the inner city community. The mechanics are poor guys, okay? And the persons who are bringing their cars to the mechanic are not really financially stable in some cases. So when they go to these mechanics in the inner city community, the mechanic is going to say one thing and they're going to say the next thing. And in discussion, sometimes, things don't go as planned. Either the guy doesn't have the money to buy the parts for the car, or he does not have the money to pay the mechanic. So what's happened then is that you're already going to take this car from where you personally live. You live in down in, let's say you live in a mechanic is down in Grandstand. So you're going to hire a wrecker from Angliston, and then you're going to bring the car down in Grandstand. And by doing so, you don't expect so many things to be wrong with the car. So when you're getting your update on your car, the mechanic tell you need a starter, you need some spark plugs, you need this, that, or you need a hair job, and then you don't have the money. So you tell the mechanic, man, when I get a couple dollars next month, I'm going to come and thing up. So what happened? That car get laid. Now the mechanic has the next car that he's been working on that month prior, same problem with the same person, they don't have no money. So the car stays there. Then you look, he gets the next car, he fixes the car, he takes off all the parts of this car, what someone bring from the next community. Now the person who bring in the community who own the car, when they bring it in this community, they're not concerned about moving their car. They just want their car fixed. So when the guys take the engine of the car, they take the transmission of the car, they take the doors of the car, guess what they does? They leave the car right there in the community. They take it to one community and leave it in our community. And the mechanics themselves are not saying to the owners of the car, hey, listen, buddy, when we script this car got to go immediately. All right, this need to leave out the area immediately. The mechanics are not doing that. What they're doing is keep on building up, building up, building up. Then when they get built up, you have 50, 100 cars, and you can't do nothing with the cars no more. So what is left? Rats, gun stash, in the water table. Rat keep on populate. The rat population keep on expanding. The mosquitoes keep on expanding. You know. And what we have? We have a filthy community, you know? So I want to commend the government on that, you know, and not to take bread and butter or the mechanics' pocket. Mechanics, call it coming right now, the mechanics in the area should just have a property fenced in, have a restriction if they have a restriction on time frame or how they're going to move the car, how they're going to move the car, what they're going to do with the car, okay? They're going to have a record present to move it. You know, et cetera, you have the plan. It's just that it can't be normal as usual right now because we have to clean up our country. You know, so these are good programs. I think that the government is headed in the right direction with the housing. I think we're penalizing people with dialect vehicles and also car mechanic shops. You know, because it's filthy, man. When you look at all these car mechanic shops, like I say, I don't want to take no bread out of nobody's mouth. But which comes first? The community comes first. The kids come first. The older people comes first. The community comes first. It can't be that one set of people will make certain money and the people who own the cars, they don't want to take responsibility for their leftover equipment, used equipment that they're going to leave in this community. So when they get their car fixed, they don't care if they leave the next car where they script there. They don't care. They just want to get out there. And they leave it up to the responsibility of the community. And that's not right. And that's why we have to regulate and make sure that we can find alternative ways to how we can talk to the mechanics on the side of the road. We say, hey, let's build a shed. Okay, you want to sell car parts, right? You want to fix a car. Okay, then. When this car comes here, you have a shed. You build a shed, it's fenced in, you have a record that can move cars on time. You take the engine out, you put it there. You take the transmission out, you put it there. You take out all the parts of the car, the doors, the windshield, and you label it so that when a person come to you and they need these parts, you have them right on shot that you script. You could easily remove that, or you could sell it, but you remove it. You script the car so that it don't becomes a big problem. Now you have a lot of space because as soon as the car comes to you from the wrecker, you script it. You take the windshield out, you take the box windshield out, you take it, everything, the alternator, transmission, and then you label it nice and neat. Hey, then you are a real mechanic. Now when people come and ask you, I need a window for 2006 on the court, you get it right there. You know where to go. You need an alternator for one Sentra. You know where to go. You understand? And as the cars them come, they could easily go out. And there's no problem to the community because you get your yard fencing, you have a canvas around it, and you're keeping your yard clear. And that's what we want in this country. You know, like I said, I don't want Brad to be taken on no one's mouth, but we have to come up with some type of regulation to beautify the country. No ifs and no buts. Our country is filthy, and I approve these programs that the government is doing right now. And I hope that this could help clean up our environment. We're going to take this call on Inside the Inner City. Go ahead, caller.
Good afternoon, Scrooge.
Good afternoon to you.
I don't know.
I'm fine.
Hey, Scrooge, in reference to the road, like for the word, three-letter word called fun, right? I mean, like, don't you think, like, the government should look for alternative venues to have, like, fun to make money, i.e., in the area, Montreal Avenue area on the weekend to have fun on Saturday. This morning, the government blocked up the streets to have some, I don't know, musical fun thing.
That's Gumby.
Friday morning.
I think that's Gumby.
The thing about it was going through my mind, right? I go on early, like 7 o'clock, right? And with light, right? But you know what? I say, man, hold on, man. At least a caring government, you know what they'll do? Like they send these Marco late blasts. They send these late blasts to all our phones to let us know that, you know, this road will be closed for X amount of time and, you know, alternative routes could be this or that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Would be more appropriate because, I mean, other than that, all you do is create like mayhem and traffic jam and confusion.
Yes.
Because you're not advising the broader public, but even people in that, the government should look at alternative venues instead of blocking the roads, because we already know that the roads are already over congested with traffic.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? And like the next experience I had on the road was on Sunday, right? Like Ben, like the airport road, JFK can be blocked. But for people who coming out of church on a Sunday, the police have a spike across the road. People who go into the airport, could be some emergency or something, to block 2 lanes just to let people out a parking lot who ain't going nowhere. You know, I mean, like stuff like that, like just above the law a little bit too much. And I mean, like for the wider public, we should have some kind of like, see, shouldn't be no 2 lanes to just let people out chase. But hey, but Scrooge, on the next note, like the building that they intend to break down on Shirley Street where agriculture used to operate out of, right?
Mm-hmm.
That building, you know, lie, right? The cost of building materials, steel, concrete, block, and all materials are high, right? And I know as a builder, right now, I tell you, right, that building is a sound structure, right? I see the roof. You can take that roof, you want to repitch it, put a new truss like roof on or whatever, but then that roof is that could be that's a solid roof, right?
Mm-hmm.
Re-roof it, right? If you want to cut the inside, take everything out, right? And you take that and you renovate that for the shell and think that's a sound structure. Don't make sense breaking that down just to leave it for what? You ain't got no ideas. You can leave it as just space, open space and things as park for people to go on the beach. That don't make no sense. The government ain't got no home. They renting all over the place. That's the government land, the government building, the government needs to take. Stop wasting the people's money.
Yes,
you know, it's elections. Honestly, man, they don't put that fence around about bulldozer. For what? Honestly, man, that building just needs to gut out. Put a roof on that. That structure is a good structure. It don't make no sense taking that and demolish it. That don't make no sense, man. Honestly, it doesn't make no sense. You know, we really need to be thinking and think, man, you have to destroy it. If you put a couple of cars out there, people that sit down and think to go on the beach. No, you know what really needs to happen? Where they putting that structure up there on Cable Beach and things there with the wind group, right? Must be about 12 stories right on the road. You know what? You don't know what happened, right? That cove in there was so beautiful, we call Goodman's Bay, right? That you get take.
Yeah.
All right? That getting take. Because guess what? There ain't no way the government could allow that building right across the Prime Minister's office, right, to be built, right? Without needing no parking or anything, right? Where the parking is there, Goodman's Bay, all right? That you get take, right? See what I mean sometimes? Some of the things that happen in this country and things, you just sit back and just allow, you know. Hey, Scrooge, I bumped in right in that same area too, right? I ain't telling you no lie. You remember before they put a Bahama, right? A little water would go around before they put that bridge over the road and things there.
Yeah.
Before Bahama came, right?
You're talking about the golf
The
course.
water went right there, right? You remember that, right?
Yeah, but the golf course was right.
Yeah. And they put sand around the side of it, right?
Yeah.
Look just like the sea. Clear water, right? Right now, I ain't telling you no lie, right? You need to stop sleeping, man, because I ain't telling you no lie. In the Bahamas, we don't have no black water. That water in there, the sewer plant for Bahama is right there in between the round before you get to Bahama, right? And that there, I don't know if they dumping that inside the water, but I don't know why. When they pass for that, all this say, man, hold on, man. They got to be growing the Chinese flag inside there, you know. Because there ain't no one questioning that. No one testing that water. That water, something is wrong. I guess if you check the fish, you'll find the fish inside there, they form or something too.
Yeah.
You know, because the runoff from the Gulf Coast and they got the chemicals. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, highly chemical.
There's some things happening in this country that happen, you know.
Yeah. That's why it's good for citizens like yourself to notice the problem and speak up on it when you have the chance on social media.
Yeah, man. Because, I mean, sometimes we be passing these things and just going to wait the city and a couple of dollars looking at the environment. It's right there. You know, I mean, if someone go overboard in the water, ain't got no guardrail in there too, you know.
Yeah.
Someone go over in the water, things like that. That place and they going. You can kind of find them. Diver got to go inside. They can't see inside the water.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, man. We never experienced no black water in this country. And right in front of our eyes and right there, what's going to say that about it, you know. Why? Because money making, man.
Yeah.
But we got to look at the environment. You never know what's going inside there. You never know what's manifest.
Yeah.
We may be the home base for the next pandemic.
Yeah.
You never know what's in that water.
Just like you're saying that now, through my corner of Lewis Street, we have a problem just called water and sewage. Like how you're saying, you talk about the black water, right?
Yeah.
right now we still are on the government system, sewer system. You know, we still we are actually Nassau, and Grandstand is actually Nassau. That is not the Bahamas, that is Nassau. Okay, that's a new problem. The system that is hooked up to old East. Okay, we still hook up the we stand to Lewis Creek. There's a pipe that is burst in the yard, and to show you the importance of the environment, like what you're talking about. You know, you never know what is being polluting and causing the fish to be deformed. Well, in this particular yard, there's a pipe burst, and the sewer system runs on a rotation system. And if there's a leak, the water and sewer would find a way to come out. Well, right now the yard is flooded. You need to see the damage, what this is causing the environment. The banana trees. They are turning brown. The coconut trees are turning brown. The toxin that is in the sewer water that is coming from there is actually like acid, all kind of stuff in there, man. And listen, mosquitoes are blooming in that. You understand? So it's...
We get the mosquito feed and
yes.
water and
And the water is staying for the community, man. So I'm hoping that water and the sewage comes this way sometime this week. You know, I called them last week.
It's the one time they give me to be.
Yeah, that's environmental. That's water and sewage as well.
But environmental health.
Yeah, they tell you call either one is refer the call to, you know.
The water and sewage, they don't deal with environmental health.
Okay.
Environmental health, man.
Okay. Well, anyway, like you say, it's there, and that's the same problem we're facing around the country. And concerned citizens are the ones who have to give notice.
Yeah. Hey, Scrooge.
Hey.
Another thing, they bring up this thing with the John Canoe group and this and that. And this look what time the mid-year this is, and they big red area coincide that thing because it's politics time and it's drafted in it. Have a fine, you know.
Well, I don't know what's going on with BM people.
I think myself, bet John Canoe getting this thing right now.
Yeah.
You know, they just it's like, you know, be distracting because you know the reality is it's going to election time. Something you see they say. And then all this we could do this thing with this like say this new system, this carbon card and this other kind of business, right?
Yeah, I talk
and
about
then say, well, we ain't gonna worry, but we all you come inside and bring your passport, and then we get us, you know, being asked no more questions after that. We ask one question, that's it. Once again, that's it. No, see, don't wait like that, you know.
So what you think the biometric card's all about? You think it's because we spoke about the immigration policy?
It ain't about that particular card, you know. It's about the principle of taking apart these passports, right? When there were so many cries saying that these passports been given away like candy for years.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm saying. All kind of fraudulent means and ways, right?
Yeah.
And for our government, right, to be a legitimate government and thing, right, would come and tell us, Bahamian people, that, you know, hold on, we ain't worrying about all that. Just come to get your passport. And, you know, one question after cross the board for everything, national insurance, every other thing with government. No more questions asked, you know, that you're in. It don't work like that.
No, it don't work like that.
It don't work like that. No. It don't work like that. You see what I'm saying? I ain't telling you no lie. Let me say something here. That's going to be too quick. Because the mere fact that I ain't telling you no lie, I could be him and and what is something? My generation go back far. Let me show you today. You see Roxanne Lutra? My grandfather used to own that.
Okay.
Hear me?
Yes, sir.
Ocean Hole. That's like where that is, you own that. You hear me? His house right there on the side there, all right? So then he had to give it up to Satan at the change the name. But the bottom line is this, right? You know what? This country and things like that, I mean, like, he ain't just a nobody, you know, but all of the bottom line is this, right? From the time when we know that our passport and all our everything and with it to him, everything has just been granted and given away to anybody. And anybody who holding our documents and things like that, within their own heart, they know within their stuff and things within their own country.
Yeah.
But they
thanks.
They can't do it at home.
Yeah.
But
anyway,
because, you know what, people ain't even all that, right? They can't even go home.
Yeah, well,
they can't even face their own people.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
You know, but it's real, man. You know, it's humility behind everything.
Yeah.
But then you let people in your country and things, because, you know, Bahamas, but him feel all this bit humble and this and that. And people take advantage of us. Okay?
Yeah. Anyway.
And at the end of the day, two numbers and things, then you know, I mean, like everything changed.
Yeah. But anyway, I ask you know, you always do a good job when you call in the show, so I'm going to talk about some of the things you talked about. You know, I appreciate it. And thanks for calling. I really appreciate it. Damn important. Yeah, you know, he's talking a lot of positive stuff, you know. And, you know, there's a lot to really think about in the country and a lot to do. But boy, I know where we can start because boy, we mix up like Kong Sala. He's talking about the JCC and, on the Junkanoo ruling, when we give Bahamian people the power in the country, be ready to go against one another, like for the snap of the finger. When Junkanoo is supposed to be for everyone, it's supposed to be a fun thing. It's a money-making business now. And to tell you the truth, I don't care who wins the Junkanoo parade. Because guess what? At the end of the day, there's going to be a new champion every year, every different year. You know what I mean? For me, but Junkanoo is going to remain the same. So Junkanoo, to me, when people die from different groups, all the groups come together. Whether you're a Saxon Valley or Roots or one family, but when that comes in, everyone comes together and have fun and celebrate. So if we're going to do that for Junkanoo, then we need to do it overall for Junkanoo. And that's the concept we're going to have to take of Junkanoo. It's our culture. You understand? It's our culture. It's fun. It brings people together. Junkanoo is the biggest cultural event in the Bahamas. And when we start to separate it from what the foundation of it is, it's togetherness. Yeah, there are Wally, the Saxon, one family, and etc. But overall, it is Junkanoo. Cowbells, drums, it's about performance. And then we get the bragging rights. So when we see Christmas and we see New Year's, it's bragging rights for the groups, to say, yeah, we beat you this year. But next year, I'm going to come to beat you. And that's what's supposed to be about competition, But overall, it's a family thing. It connects family so that it becomes political and it becomes personal. Junkanoo is for all. So I know why they would be looking for all these alternatives to turn something that is fun and love into a distraction, It's crazy. So I also want to talk about the programs that the government are doing that we talk about in the show and the government is implemented. So we want to again show you what we talked about. We all talked about how the family islands don't have no vehicles like fire engines and helicopter and an ambulance. So I want to read this real quick. And I'm going to come to you right now. So I'm going to just give me about 3 minutes just to read out the newspaper. I've always talked about this, that we always supposed to make sure that each family island has their ambulance, their helicopter, their clinic, everything that they need to survive on the family island instead of coming to Nassau, which takes hours or days to be. If you have a serious accident or you have a serious injury or you need surgery, there's no A, B, and B, and there's no proper ambulance to transport the victim. And we've been saying this for years on Inside Industry and on Guardian Radio, that we need to make sure that where there's a population in the Bahamas, whether it's Lutra, Exuma, Cat Island, Long Island, that they have the adequate equipment. And I'm glad the government is doing this initiative to better equip the Bahamian people with the best set of equipment. So here we have 6 aviational grade ambulance are headed to the family islands as part of a donation from the Bahamas Aviation, Climate and Severe Weather Network. That's BACSWN. With the first 2 expected to arrive by October, the donation will follow 400 million heads of agreement with the Bahamas government, which includes mandates to support cash, search and rescue, coordination, as well as strengthening healthcare infrastructure throughout the archipelago. Michael Scrawn, Group Financial Advisor, told the Tribune that the company signed an agreement with its partner, Response Plus Medical, RPM, on Independence Day to buy 6 ambulances, which will be operated through the Public Hospitals Authority and the Ministry of Health. We are putting in place a training structure for ambulance staff and improving the capability of the existing system through EMT training, he said, adding that a trainer from RPM is arriving in New Providence this week to begin preparation. The donation come at a time when the government has struggled to secure ambulance for the country. The ones PH sourced last time were not fully suited for operation on the family islands. Now, how is that? That's where the corruption comes in. They never supposed to purchase them in the first place. The government who have their own issues, instead of do their research, they lead them their own personal company in order to receive funds that they take out of this purchase of these particular ambulances that are not qualified for the islands. That means those ambulances that they have parked up at Criminal Investigation Department on Thompson Boulevard, they are standard shift. How in the world you could get standard shift ambulance, if I'm correct? You know standard shift ambulance? You know, it's the ambulance driving around. So when I get my needle, right? You're looking for my vein. What happen? The needle go where? Huh? Or I gonna get stitched up? Huh? You're on the standard shift. Huh? Who would have purchased standard shift ambulance? That is someone in government who did not do no research. They have a personal connection with that company, and they messed up millions of dollars buying those ambulances. And that's the bottom line right there. And that's where the corruption comes in. Now, let me just finish read this quick. Caller coming right now. These ones are state-of-the-art, the latest generation, which are more suited for the family islands. The ones we're going to be getting from Nassau are more heavy-duty. These will have everything you can think of, versus the other ones that were standard shift. They didn't have enough qualified person who could operate them. What you mean? I don't understand why you want to get an ambulance with standard shift. What you thinking? You have to be comfortable as ever, and that's why you have automatic. You know? So why is the paramedics dealing with the patient in the back? There are no bumps and no hurdles. There's no shift in motion. So that's why common sense could tell you get automatic. And again, to the Royal Bahamas Police Force, I think those police trucks are not adequate for the road because they're flipping over. They are not built for Nassau roads. They are not supposed to be in the Royal Bahamas Police Force because they're not adequate for the road. How many times, Rolly, have you seen these police truck roll over? So it tells you something wrong with the truck, right? Every time they turn deep, the truck flipping over, right? So that means they never supposed to purchase those trucks in the first place. There's someone in government again who decided that they're going to go with this company and not this company, and they purchase these vehicles that are not suitable for Nassau and should not be purchased in the first place. Now, guess what? That's a waste of taxpayers' money. And that's what's going on in the country. Let me read this real quick. Caller coming right now. He said, only the first 6 ambulances are being donated. Future experiments will be covered under proposed oversight fees. BACSWN has also signed a letter of intent to acquire 2 cash search and rescue helicopters. Now, listen, I've been mentioning this on Inside the Inner City for a long time. Raleigh live in Harbor Island. Raleigh gets hurt jet ski. How Raleigh's going to get to Nassau? He's going to go on a mailboat or he's going to go to the speedboat. We supposed to have the adequate helicopters for these family islands to have a quick response to get to Nassau, no Providence. If you can't get to Nassau, no Providence, you're supposed to have some 1 or 2 other hospitals set up in the family islands that are close, that the helicopter can save fuel and be on a timely fashion, because we all know that when it comes to emergencies, time is everything. Time is everything. So the longer you take, the longer the person bleeds out, and the longer the person get chronically ill. So these are the steps in the right direction. I heard the minister, when I mentioned it, because they listened to the show on Guardian, I heard the minister say that it's too expensive to get helicopters. I think that's the former minister of National Security, Marvin Daines, if I could remember. He said it's too expensive to get a helicopter and too expensive to maintain. No, it's not. It is not too expensive. If we get it, it's going to benefit the Bahamian people. We could have trained professionals who we get these helicopters that are suitable for the island, that are the right helicopters, that are equipped just like the ambulance that we're getting now. We could have trained Royal Bahamas Police Force or trained Defense Force officers or trained ambulance attendant who can be trained to fly these helicopters and get their pilot license, and they could be the ones responsible for transporting persons who get serious emergencies on the family island. You know, we have to upgrade, you know, because, like I said, there's a lack of equipment, and now that we use this, what these family islands need for future development to make sure they have the adequate equipment. They need their fire engine, they need their ambulance, they need their clinics, hey? They need their small businesses, hey? They need their own power, they need their own water, you understand? And now we're taking steps towards that. Okay, caller, sorry for taking so long. You're on Inside in the City. Turn on your radio, please.
Good evening, Scrooge.
Good evening, good evening.
How you doing?
I'm fine. So.
Yeah, I called because my number one concern about what you said is this sewer line that's open up to Lewis Street.
Yes, sir.
That's an environmental hazard.
Yes, sir.
And I think you make me feel strange. Who is the member of parliament for the area, and have you all contacted environmental health?
Yes, sir. I contacted environmental health actually last week, Tuesday. They told me they would make a round sometime this week, but they have not as yet. And so I'm hoping that, you know, they should be here sometime. I know they're off Saturday or Sunday, so I'm hoping they be here for Monday for our sake in the community.
How long have they been like that?
Well, honestly speaking, you know, I clean the yards in the community that the residents who live in the community ask me for assistance if they can. And as I cut down the yard, I noticed the leak because I couldn't cut in the back with my two guys who we go around cleaning the area free for the residents in the community as a give back. And when we saw it, I reported it. But according to the residents and based on how we see the trees are turning brown, that looked like they'd been about 6-7 months.
6-7 months.
Yes, sir. So you can imagine how that has affected the water table in our community.
Yeah. I mean, for everybody, because,
yes.
You know, but I mean, they're not that long. The member of parliament, you can down their constituency headquarters. And so, other than that, you need to bring in the media.
Yes.
So the media could, you know, expose that, like they talk about next week, by next week, and don't play with, you know, don't play with them. I mean, you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because, you know, in that area and thing, because some of my cousins used to live in that area next to Mission Baptist Church on the western side where they do the park, and that was their property back in the day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So, you know, because, you know, I mean, the member of parliament, whoever he is or she is, you know, need to be on that and give it up. You know, you got to expose them.
Yes, sir.
That's what I learned.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I was told that, you know what I mean, by one of my teachers, Alvin Smith, who was in opposition and was, you know,
yes,
the member of parliament for Northern Lutra back in the day.
Yes, sir.
He thought, you know, you don't let it go quietly. You know, don't take no time.
Yes, sir.
Because he would be sick. And another thing, you mentioned something about the immigration thing with the voter cards, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Biometric voter card.
Right. Now, like everybody was saying, a couple of people said, with these fake papers that these people have, and they seem to be trying to push it through, because one of my schoolmates just told me a couple of days ago, she feels as if they're trying to get away with a fast one, because with these people walking around with fake passports, and they're trying to use the same biometric information from the passport, means like that's an automatic path for them to vote
in the general election.
And if this administration was the ones that got them straight, and whatever chicanery or trickery or, you know, skullduggery tactics they're trying to use, they're trying to pull off one real fast before the next.
Yes, sir.
You see? So that's what we have to be concerned about, and that should be the COI and the F&M concerned that they're trying to, you know,
You're
the
right,
government off the mark.
You're right, sir.
Yeah, so you get on them, man, you know.
Yes,
Find the media, check the media, and tell them come, you know, do a documentary on it.
Yes.
I can put pressure on them by next weekend.
Yes, sir.
Don't let us go on. I get your phone number from the last time I called on the show.
Yes, sir.
I can check back with you early next week and see what they deal with.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, let's push that. All
Yes,
right,
sir.
cool.
Thank you very much for calling in. I like the callers. They always have some good creative solutions for the country's problem. He mentioned the fact about the biometric voters card, and in response to that, I think the Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, the Honorable Brave Davis, was addressing the media, and he was talking to the media concerning concerns from the media and Bahamian people living here that we are being overrun with illegal immigrants. And his response is that we have repatriated close to 13,000 illegal immigrants in the last 4 years, and that the detention center is the lowest it's been in the last few years. And he's saying that we do not have an immigration problem here in the country. Well, I don't know what the Prime Minister's be saying. I think, he must be under the radar. All due respect to him, but he also is outdated. We have people who of natural Haitian descent can't speak 1 ounce of English, have Bahamian passport. How is that possible when you don't even know the national anthem? How did you get your passport? Passport is going for $5,000 to a Haitian national in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. How do they get it? They get it from the immigration department and persons in the passport departments that has connection. We have the former, director of immigration stepped down, and now you have a new director, Mr. Rhoda. Yeah, Mr. Rhoda is now the new director of immigration. And the former one, he spoke, and he said, that under his watch, under the immigration department, that all citizenship comes under him. So you're talking a bunch of crap. You think now you as one man, you're going to see thousands let me get this right now. You are the director, and you trying to tell me nothing's going to slip by you? Nothing's going to slip by you. You're going to sit in your office all day and sign off and look at all these citizenship given out to foreign nationals. Some deserving. I'm not talking about who deserving will be in it for 20, 30 years. He make an argument on that. He's saying that most of the person who got their citizenship are persons who are living here 20 to 30 years. I have no problem with that whatsoever, because the Bahamas government failed. The Royal Bahamas Police Force failed. The Royal Bahamas Defense Force failed. The immigration department failed because they did not get these people in a timely fashion when they came here illegally. So they slipped through the tracks for over 10, 15, 20 years. There's no way we can send them back. I don't care how we put it. There was a lack of apprehension. And then we also sign on to agreements when it comes to health care, okay? So even when they come on these boats and stuff like that, and they land at the Bahamas, we sign on to agreement to help. But Minister saying that, we don't have an immigration problem, so you're completely outdated. You're doing a fantastic job as the Prime Minister. I think you just, your hands are full. But to say that we don't have an immigration problem, so you ain't talking straight. You ain't talking straight, sir. Right now, with the immigration officers on the streets and that's no problem, you're seeing less movements by illegal immigrants because they the Bahamas government have stated where they're doing their immigration raids. And if you look on the streets in Nassau, the immigration officers are out like from 4 to 5. You can't see Haitian nationals on the streets like that no more because they know that the immigration are moving through. You understand? So we have an immigration problem in the country. It's just that it's not affecting you as yet, but it's affecting all of us because we have 5,000 students coming to school every day. We have Haitian Bahamian and Bahamians. The Haitian Bahamians are going to be displaced because when they come looking for work, there isn't going to be no work because they said who come here illegally. And like I say, Bahamians are not going to work for $260 a week because our bills is like $700, $800, and $1,000 a week. So we ain't going to work for that. So the foreigners who come here, they're going to work for that because that $260, you know how much it is to them? Their dollar for dollar is not like our one. We dollar for dollar with the U.S. Our dollar is like 2,000 times way more than their dollar. So when they come in and get that job for $260, they send $100 back. You can't blame them. That is plenty of money back home. They take 100 and they pool together and they buy rice in the stock. They buy the turkey by the case. This is how these people work. They buy everything by the case and they work together. They carry their own lunch. They carry their own breakfast. Okay, and they work. So that $260 that they come here for, that changed their whole lives. But for me and you, who living here in the country, Rolly, man, $260 can't even last us a day. Times your girlfriend or your wife come to you, honey, the car need gas. I'm gonna do this, baby. Man, you don't eat. It costs with 45. My baby, I ain't get 45. I can only get 25. Hey, listen, you gotta pay cable bill. You know, you gotta pay light. Then you gotta pay your woman bill. Because even though you could be mad, the woman still telling you, I want my thing on when you get paid. You know how the sort of go. So there's so much bills you gotta pay. You know, so $260, we're not gonna work for. But the foreign nationals who come here, that's a lot of money for them. That's dollar for dollar. And they utilizing that, you know. So the Prime Minister, you know, he's defending his government, I understand. But we do have a serious problem in the country. Yes, we repatriated 13,000. So if there's no problem, Rolly, why do we have 13,000 get deported in the last 4 years? So if 13,000 get deported in the last 4 years, how many more you think were here? You think they catch all? If 13,000 were here in 4 years, how many more you think that slipped through the crack in people's houses, Bahamian houses, and their family houses right now, still here today? It shows you the volume of people coming to show us that are here present. Okay, go ahead, caller. You're on Inside Inner City.
Hey, Scrooge, how you doing?
I'm fine, sir. Good night to you.
My brother, good night. And that 13,000 is only an estimate. That no one truly knows the true number, even if that is a factual number. Okay.
Yes, sir.
The thing what we got to look at is, I heard you mention about the cost of a helicopter and all that stuff. You know, it's about time we as Bahamians stop downplaying these things and really get serious. Because if we were really serious about this illegal migration situation in this country, we would pull out all the stops to get everything we need to help to curb this same money for everything under the sun. But they can't find money in the serious areas that Bahamians have been calling the government. And not just this one, but successive governments. If they were serious, we should have a serious air wing as it pertains to just immigration matters.
Yes.
We should have officers on both the defense and the Royal Bahamas Police. Sad to say, when I listen to some of the salaries that they receive, it is a shame and a disgrace.
Yes.
What they pay these people to risk their lives on a daily basis.
That's what
on sea and on land.
That's what
so it's just pathetic.
That's
and people like us now who really see the true picture. Bahamians, it seems as if there's a plot where Bahamians are not supposed to be financial buoyant in this country. We must always have our hands out begging. Yeah. Why is it that we can't get top dollar in this country when other people cutting deals and stuff on the table and making millions? You know, we gotta stop allowing these politicians to downplay us like we are a bunch of fools. We see what's going on, and we have to call them out. You cannot be afraid.
Yes, sir.
Okay? One thing I was always told, and I'll close on this, you know, they are our servants. They are our servants. But it seems as if the bosses are afraid to speak to their employees, to tell their employees what to do in this country. Yes. I'm not afraid of any of them. Yes. And let me tell you something. If you believe that the election time is the only time when majority rules in this country, you're sadly mistaken. We have to show them that the power is in our hands, not in theirs. Yes. We are the ones to dictate to them, not them to dictate to us. Yes. We have to fix this problem, but I don't blame them. Yes. I blame we, the Bahamian people, for being too doggone passive. Okay? Yes, thanks for taking my call.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And to you, sir, I'm glad you mentioned the fact, before we go, when he talked about the Defense Force officer and the police underpaid, and the immigration office underpaid, this is where the corruption comes in. I think if we increase the pay, there wouldn't be so much corruption involved, because if you're underpaid and you lock up somebody and they illegally, they say, man, look here, I want 5,000, I want 10,000, also come up break. Buddy, I know I'm a nationalist, but when I look at all my bills, my daughter, I have to sell out my country. I'm just saying, you know, this is what brings temptation. But if I have a good salary of $66,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year, then I don't need to. You know, I don't need to, because I can handle all my bills. I could get a good bank loan, you know what I mean? But with that low salary that we have for our police officers and our defense force officers, I think it's so good. I think we have to increase it. We have to look at the way increases to stop the corruption. Okay, so we're going to take a break. Rolly say, have to take a break on Guardian Radio. We'll be right back after the break.
Don't take no back talk, no bribe or no
Fast, reliable, and impactful printing. Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Wait, you know what's going down tomorrow?
Nobody, what happening?
Joe bringing these knives to school. He could do Junior in.
For what?
Wait, he fooled with Joe girl.
Mother sick. And you know Junior don't back down for nothing. So that means you got a big fight tomorrow.
So whose side you want?
Side? I trying to stay in school, not Simpson Pen. We gotta tell somebody about this fight.
Tell somebody? I ain't no snitch. I mean cool, you know.
Wait, if you so cool, then you need to stay in school and stay out of the fight.
Yeah, but if I don't hang on Joe's side, how many boys coming for me next?
All right, so we definitely gotta tell somebody. We gotta prevent the fight.
What I say, I don't want nobody call me snitch.
We could just call Crime Stoppers. You could report what you know, and nobody gotta know it's you.
So how did I wait?
All you gotta do is call them, or you text them through the Crack Crime Bahamas app, and nobody can know it's you.
Then the police come looking for me for more info, and when they finish with them, Joe them coming looking for me?
When you call Crime Stoppers, the calls go directly to Miami, and they don't ask nothing about you. Then you can get the pin from them, and they can claim a reward later using that same pin.
Plus, everything's scrambled, so nobody can read what you're saying.
Call 328-847 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands.
Always on the go? Missed the show? You can now listen to Guardian Radio talk shows anytime, anywhere on Spotify and YouTube by searching Guardian Radio 96.9 FM or by entering the name of your favorite show. You can also listen by logging on to GuardianTalkRadio.com and clicking on the podcast tab. Guardian Radio, continuing to provide you with fresh news and smart talk anywhere, anytime, all day.
You try to rest, but roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers, for window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM.
La 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 la. La 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 la.
Good night, Bahamas, and we're back on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. I'm your host, Valentino aka Scrooge or Scrooge, host of the talk show Inside the Inner City that comes on every Friday at 6:30 to 8 p.m. We talk about solutions to the country's problem. We are talking about immigration. We're talking about doing that are beneficial to the BMN people. We're talking about building homes in the inner city community. Also, not taking properties, but purchasing, abandoning properties in the inner city community, working out a deal with the previous owners if they are owners, buying it and turning it into something useful for the community, like a home or small businesses. And we have thousands of those, and I think this is going to provide a lot of housing. Again, I hope that we could get the price range anywhere from $25,000 to $30,000 for these individual houses that we can give to Bahamian mothers and fathers who are single parents, or a family that has a mother and father but just don't have no resources to buy a home. Maybe they could get one of these homes rent to own. Okay? I'm going to take this next call. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, bless up, Scoochie.
Yes, 52.
Enough respect, my brother. I was trying to chime in from a little while. I come home and I was trying to catch her watering some plants, right?
Yes, sir.
And missing break the 3/4 inch pipe trying to pull the hose too far without looking because a lot of plants in the area.
Yeah.
Good thing I had everything right there I needed. I was so mad, a little elbow, a little tea.
Yes.
And when I look, right, I know I rest the glue down. I let the bulldog knew the glue, and he got it in the back of the yard playing with it. I almost licked him right over there. So I up and down.
He's a miserable dog,
eh?
eh?
Chilling the Goombay, right? So you know where I want to go. But the initial part of your show, I was talking about things that I basically was putting under city ordinances. Like you was talking about the mechanic shops and environmental degradation, hazards and haphazards and all that.
Yes.
And so I had a problem with it that's similar to that by the Lodge Hall. They took about 5 years before they fixed the open thing in the cesspit. There are a bunch of mosquitoes, but we don't pay attention until something happens.
Yes.
And you know that. And so I don't know who's doing a good job, but I don't know. I wouldn't say the PM doing a good job because then you're being disingenuous to the Bahamian people. I have a problem with that. And so I don't know who's intelligent enough to gaslight me, right?
Yes, sir.
Or you. But I use common sense wherever my knowledge stops. All right? So I ain't going to let anyone gaslight me and say, we don't have this problem or that problem. I can see from my external reality.
We have the problem.
That is the problem. Now, what happens is, maybe if these migrants was moving up and around Life and Key and Stapleton Gardens and the West Grove, right? And they see, like, strangers every day, right? Coming in with brief. I don't know them. I don't have nothing against them. But I'm glad. Let me give you credit for highlighting the fact that the Asian Bahamian face the same problem we do.
They can be out of work.
That's what I'm saying. So I give you hats off to that, Scoochie. I see you even got the tourists walking down in the Mason Edition now without even wearing nobody.
Yes, we don't
I
trouble
come through the corner where Sleepy used to be.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just get mixed up with that corner and take before I go by Shawnee. But the side corner, I see the tourists walking through, coming over there by Mortimer, coming through the
they come
way up by the corner with the Jason and Sleepy.
Yeah, they come way down there.
Yeah, so I said, but Scoochie, but your dreams won't come true, man. Coming true.
Yes, coming true.
Yeah, man. And so, but really and truly, but let's to the mechanic shops and all them type, they ordinances that the government need to pass, and then you even paint the picture that really is what's going on in the States. I don't know if you've ever been in South River Drive, where you have a lot of Guatemalans and Mexicans. When you ride through that corner, it looks like you're in Mexico because the corner dusty. But when you go to the junkyard, they got the things on the shelf,
everything
label
organized.
What you need. They don't drain the oil or they ship it.
Yes.
So I mean, and I as a matter of fact, I was by the guy. My brother must have hit the little buggy where they ride in the driveway. So I had a fella do some of the things, and they be in by him, and hey, look, he got a bunch of seats from old cars that were right off, but they knew. Like, hey, what you should do is label them and keep them.
Right.
Because people is coming there want me to do a policy where can, even if I need to patch it, the foam from these is high quality versus what they make the sofa from.
Yes.
So the car, you cannot take the foam from the sofa and use for a car seat. It's kind of infuriated that. So,
I think he left. We're going to take this next call. He still there?
Hello. Hey, Scroogey.
Good night. Go ahead.
Yeah, I called earlier and I was talking about that sewer thing and bringing in the media.
Yes, sir.
Because, 52 and me. You let us to Lewis Street. How far are you up from Tony and the Baker Boys?
That's actually 7 houses down. You're actually going on Fellowship Way. It changed from Compass Street now. It's Fellowship Way.
Okay, that's fast, that?
Yes, sir.
On the south side?
Yes, sir. On the left-hand side, yes, sir.
That's where the sewer problem is?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
A yellow wall. Yes, sir.
Yeah, like I said, like the dark in next week, and we are on that.
Yes, sir.
Another thing, the Prime Minister today said 15,000 people they repatriated.
Yes, sir.
The other day, Green Manu said it was 13,000.
Lord.
It even in 4 years, because that's 48 months.
Yes.
We only 46 months in. When you divide that 15,000, who's supposed to know? When he mentioned the other day, that's like repatriate 326 persons a month.
Huh?
That's 15,000.
Yeah.
The Prime Minister mentioned.
Yeah,
right?
something like that. Yes, sir.
When you divide that by only 46 months, 2 more months will make a full 4 years that they've been in power, right?
Yes, sir.
That amounts to 326 persons per month from the day they came to office.
Wow.
Now, what you probably could do is ask them to do an initiative like every evening on the show or wherever, or one of these radio stations. Just announce how many people they detained for the day.
Yes.
And how many people they repatriated for the day.
Yes, sir.
That's a simple thing.
Yes, sir.
See, they need to stop, like 52 say, stop trying to gaslight us and stop lying, man.
Yes, sir. We know we have a problem. We know, Bahamian people know we have a problem. Again, this is not about hate. It's just the fact that the Haitian Bahamian people, the jobs are taken up by illegal immigrants coming in. What is going to happen to 5,000 students every year? Let me ask you a question. Even to the Haitian population, what are going to happen to the settled school now looking to be employed? Where job is? Where the gardening job? Where the roofing job? Where the installation job? Huh? Where all the trades? They could fix fridge and do all this stuff. We're not taking nothing away from nobody, but I'm telling you, this is the screen we have because the 5,000 coming out, they're looking for work. And if we're not providing work, you know what they're going to be? They're going to be the next set of criminals in the country because they can't find no work. And that's what happening. So if the prime minister is saying this is not happening, then he is completely oblivious to what is actually happening in his own country. Because we have a problem. Because guess what? He's saying that they apprehend these individuals on sloops. Sloops, they just play out. There are a lot of rich Haitian Bahamians, right? Who have money, who go and buy yachts, who buy speedboats now. Hey, this ain't back in the day no more. What you seeing on the news with the sloops? No. They get faster, more better boats. They show you in the U.S. how they hit in the U.S. What they hit in the U.S. with? They're in the U.S. with no sloops. They hit in the U.S. with the latest set of boats that could outrun the Defense Force boat. So if the Defense Force is out there and then the people see them coming, you know what they're going on? They're going on the boat, go across the reef. Defense Force boats can't go across the reef. And these people are navigators, so we have a serious problem in our country. These are the things that we see every day, you know, and I hope that we get it under control because the 5,000 students who come into school, they ain't stand a chance. They could be stagnant on the streets because the jobs, again, are going to be taken away for people who come here for dollar for dollar. All this, Wally, is for dollar for dollar. Our dollar, this Bahamian dollar here, is so valuable. Listen, let me show you how valuable it is. I could take $100 now and go to Haiti the whole week in Jamaica with $100. I could just leave from here right now with $100 in my pocket and I can live like a king for about a week or 2 weeks in Jamaica with $100. I could do the same thing in Haiti with $100. $100 over in the Bahamas, Rolly. When I go buy my egg and thing in the store, that's gone. That's the difference. That's why the people come here. The value. That's what it's all about. Nothing else. Besides them running from a war-torn country. You know? We're going to take this last call. Caller, we only have a few more minutes, so if you could get in really quick. If you could. Go ahead, caller. Caller, you there?
Hey there, yes.
Okay,
Scrooge.
go ahead, caller.
Nico Moscow, how are you?
I'm fine. Who is this?
Nico Moscow.
Okay, hey, what's the name? This way? Oh, long time, boss.
Where you been, boy?
I've been Rachel, Mr. Moscow. I see you so long from Central America.
Mr. Moscow's my dad. When I'm old and gray, well, I'm gray now, so.
Okay.
Scrooge, I've been listening to you for a long, long time,
wow.
And I'm very proud of you, son.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're part of our family, and you know that.
Yes, I am. Yes, Mom. You all have sisters so tremendously in my community.
Well, that's what family is about.
Yes.
And I would like, if you don't mind,
yes, sir.
If I have a few moments of your precious time
go ahead, sir.
On this wonderful you guys are having. And as a senior lawyer, and you know who I am.
Yes, I know. Yes, sir.
Johnson and Easton Road. You
yes,
know
sir.
that.
Yes, sir.
So I know the inside and the outside, and as an older, I'm not that old, but I'm closer to 60 than 50, and I've lived, you know what I do.
Yes. Would you have
there was an impassioned man that told the truth.
Mm.
And you know how us Greeks go, and you're part of that family.
Yes.
We tell the truth.
Yes.
And he is saying, it's enough is enough.
Mm.
He was impassioned. He said, it's got to stop.
Wow.
Now, as a senior lawyer and one of the top immigration lawyers, I will tell you this. The immigration problem is a cancer.
Wow.
It's mastitis, which means there's no hope.
Oh.
Now, the problem being is, I've been practicing over 30 years this year, and if you go to immigration before election time, what happens is there's a drove, primarily of our friends to the south, that are getting what they have to do to vote in time.
Yes.
Well, that is alleged. Now, the other thing is, how many Haitian Bahamian descendants are in the armed forces?
Wow. We can't
count. That includes immigration, our defense force, and the police.
You still there? Time run out? Oh, shoot, that's Mr. Moscow. We're completely out of time. We can't get him for a second. Think we get him a second? Oh, Mr. Moscow, the producer said we're completely out of time. So, wow. We completely apologize. We just finished about 8 o'clock. So, if it's possible, we'd like to have the discussion next week if you could. And make sure that you will be the first one to speak next week. Me and Rolly's going to make it up to you. You know, we have a specific time. And you were knocking the hill about how that the police, and this is a big problem. He's a top lawyer in the country. And he's saying that it's a cancer to our society. That's Mr. Moscow. So, Mr. Moscow, like I said, we completely do time. My producer said that if possible, if you're listening next week, Friday, we'd like for you to have this discussion next week. And you know, you're highly respected in the country. I love you to death. I love the whole family, like the Greek community. But we're completely out of time. And you made some great points, even though it's a short period of time. And we know exactly where you're coming from when you're talking about who in the armed forces, defense force, and this where the problem comes in. And you said it's a cancer. So please excuse the station. And if we have the opportunity ever to speak to you ever again, we are hoping to be next week, sir. To have you call in and we'd have this discussion, which you started here today on Guardian Radio, if it's possible, sir. So we'd see you next week on Guardian Radio. I'm Valentino Brown, host of the talk show Inside the Inner City of the Mayors every Friday at 6:30 to 8 p.m. And we would like to have Mr. Moscow. Mr. Moscow, we will definitely like to have you next week. So I'm the host, Valentino Brown. I'll see you next week. Enjoy the weekend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Elroy, bless up.
La 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 la.